Beloved, may the peace of the Lord be with you today, wherever you find yourself. Beloved, today in Kyrie eleison Gospels, we reflect on the power of the cross as we celebrate the exaltation of the Lord. Beloved, in my quiet time of reflection, I was thinking about what makes this cross so powerful that we exalt it today. Also about this cross that St. Anthony would proclaim, "Behold, the cross of the Lord, fly ye powers of darkness." Beloved, in looking at these three things come to mind. The first has to do with obedience of the Lord to accept to die for us on the cross. That makes the cross powerful. The act of obedience to die for us. Isaiah mentioned him as the suffering servant. In the same instance, he had the power, everything, but he obeyed to the end and to die a shameful death on the cross. So obedience makes the cross powerful. The second thing has to do with humility. As Philippians chapter 2 mentions today, he was in the form of God, but he did not count equality with him. Took on the form of a servant, a slave. Humbly, he took on the cross and died for us. I've always said that our greatness comes from the fact that we are humble. Humility takes us far and grants us the greatest power we need at all times. So no wonder the cross is powerful, because the person who took the cross was a humble being. Beloved, the last thing which makes the cross powerful for me again is the love. The love for me is sacrifice. Love here is sacrifice for the well-being of the other person. In other words, you sacrifice for the good of the other person. You give up your own self, seeking the well-being of the other. And this God did for us by taking on our sins and then dying on the cross for us. We were supposed to be on the cross. We were supposed to suffer. But he exchanged what was to be ours for himself by dying on the cross. The divine exchange. And this is the greatest love God has shown to man. Beloved, and that makes the cross powerful, because he did out of love. When you have obedience, when you have humility, when you have love for people to sacrifice yourself for them, you become powerful. Beloved, so what do we do knowing very well how powerful the cross is? Even St. Paul says, in this manner, as also said by St. Anthony, the powerful cross makes the demon flee. So in this respect, in this regard, we also must also make sure that we have come to this understanding by being appreciative of what the cross has done and continues to do for us. Gratitude, appreciation is what we need to give to God for accepting to be in our place on the cross because of sin. He did not sin, but he died to save mankind. So my dear brother, my dear sisters, we must show appreciation to God in all things that we do as a way of our encounter with him as he dies on the cross for us. This appreciation we do by obedience, by being obedient to his word. This the people of Israel, according to Numbers, could not do. And so when they had an obstacle, they just cried to the Lord. They just disobeyed him. They just grumbled against him, because they didn't see God by their side. They failed to acknowledge the things God had done for them. And so when the little obstacle came, they began condemning. I've always said, let's thank God for the things we have, so that the evil one would not always tempt us with the things we don't have, to look sight of the good things God is doing for us. The second thing we need to do in appreciation to God is to be humble. A bird cannot beget a crab. So in this manner, if Jesus himself was humble enough to die on the cross, to make the cross so powerful, then we as his sons and daughters must also seek to be humble. And humility makes us great. Let's show appreciation to God by being humble as well. The last thing is to have love for people. We cannot show appreciation to God when we cannot walk in his footsteps. that is loving us, and also we loving others. So we should say we should love each other as like ourselves. So this we need to do, this we need to understand, this we need to make sure that we're doing to be in appreciation to God. If the cross is powerful, we also become powerful because we have shown appreciation to the cross of Christ. I pray that as St. Anthony prays, as we behold the cross today, as we exalt the cross today, may every evil demon flee. May every demon be cast out in your life. God bless you today.